Guys, Deluded, your favourite YouTuber. I'm back again. YouTube's Lucas Torreira, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. I'm back again. Now, it's too early to, I believe it's really too early to be drawing conclusions on Unai Emery like I'm seeing and praising him on a large thing. And I say praising him because people are going OTT with both. There's no level playing field, and it's got to a point where I can't even make some people are talking nonsense in my comments. Like, I believe in critiquing players and a manager based on that individual game that's coming every week. There's 38 games. That means there's 38 different stories that could be written. You could be great one week, great the other week, like Guendouzi, or poor one week, solid the other. And I believe that's fair. If your tactics were on point, generally speaking, now people in one game, cool. If they were bad, cool. But obviously it's early days for Unai. Like he's been in the job not that long. It's not gonna. It's like these players have been playing the way they're playing for many years. It's not gonna be a quick fix. It's gonna take time, and we've seen it. Like at times, I do think you can't. There's a lot of things I would not blame Unai Emery for that the players have done. Questionable tactics in both games, but I've seen a lot of positives to be positive about. I praised his positives against City, and I've praised. There's a couple positives I saw in the game against Chelsea. Firstly, the fight back. Now, I say the fight back. Ultimately, we lost in it. Like, there's no way around it. We lost. Last season, I'll be fair to Wenger. There were times where we fought back, ironically, against Chelsea in many different competitions. The draw against Liverpool, probably not too many occasions, but there was times in it. Probably Milan where we put in a good performances. There was a handful of times where there was some sort of level of performance or fight and things like that. But when we were 2-0 down, it felt like if they score they could score a third, fourth. If they're shooting boots on, they're going for the kill. No disrespect to Wenger, you guys know I love him, but how many times have we seen 2 goals shipped in that exact same circumstances, and then it's more. So I give the boys credit for showing character, but I have to attribute that to Unai Emery because I might not see it, but there's got to be something you're telling them or you was doing something. I do think I think it's the play. I more blame the players than the manager, but I do think psychological game management is still something we need to really work on because, like you saw against City, our heads dropped as soon as we conceded the goal. Chelsea was a bit different because we respected them for 20-30 minutes for no reason. Had that 10-minute passage where we grabbed the 2 goals or whatever. Second half non-existent, and then we was in the second half. It looked like we were stuck between do we go for this or do we hold what we have? The reason why I attribute a bit of that to Unai because he could probably as someone that likes to be fair. He could probably tell certain players to sit. He probably could have brought on Wells and just solidified the game a bit more, maybe Liechtenstein and things like that. But I'm more blamed that on the players because you can't sit back like you're sitting back at a team that's playing at home where Kovacic is balling out and stuff. You're gonna think you're gonna pay for it. And Chelsea had many shot opportunities in that second half, and we held on, and it looked like we walk away with something. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. So that needs working on. But I'd say it looks like it's going in the right direction. One thing that's escaped is the playing out the back. The playing out the back, I liked it against City. Like I said, we invited pressure, but I liked what I saw. It worked against Chelsea for me. Chelsea were a bit sneaky, and Sarri's a bit of a. You can tell he's an OG in this because if you saw Pedro and William were being a bit crafty at goal kicks, they were very deep they were actually in our box and they were getting away with it. I was thinking, ref, linesman, can't you see this? But credit to them. I like seeing them little dark arts. But playing out from the back, there was confidence to keep trying it, and I do think it does need to be played with a bit more zip, a bit more intention of going forward, versus sometimes it's going back too much and we're really just playing side to side and inviting pressure. But if you see a Iwobi's goal, that's about 20 passes before he scored. Xhaka was involved, Monreal was involved, Iwobi was involved, Bellerin and Mkhitaryan get the most credit for me. Ultimately, Iwobi scored, so he gets the most credit, better yet. But it was a good move, so the playing out from the back is working. Obviously, the shape is still there. Generally speaking, the shape is still there. Probably the only thing that lets us down, if at all, one criticism of Unai is, I get that you need offensive players to make the difference, and I'm not critiquing the lineup, but Mkhitaryan and Ozil, they're kind of like, just on the basis of the wide areas, I do think the wide areas got to be a bit better. And when you're playing creative players there, it works, but you run the risk of them slipping into old habits, going narrow and things like that. I'm more thinking of the City game in regards to that. But yeah, there was fight. Probably Unai sees that the pivot. If you're going to play two midfielders together, we probably need a lot more work on the training ground and things like that. They probably look better in the three. Off topic, I'm very happy with Iwobi, to be fair with you guys. And probably as well, I like how Unai is ruthless. You see him talk up Ramsey all pre-season and things like that, but last week he wasn't have the best of games. Off. Ozil got. If Ozil was subbed more than 5 times last season, I'll be shocked, because I'm so sure in the Premier League it's about 4 or 3 times. He was working and putting in the shift, but on the ball he wasn't offering anything. Take him off. He brought on Lacazette last week very quickly. I like the ruthlessness from him. There's positives in that. I don't like. You guys know I'm a big fan of Wenger, and I really don't like disrespecting him. But he would take too long. It's like he would see a problem, think, okay, we need to bring on another striker because we need to do something offensively. He would wait until the problem then becomes worse to bring on the striker, or he'll bring them on when there's not really enough time, or the glorious 60-something minute if you're Lacazette either coming on or getting subbed. So I like that he's ruthless in that approach. We're going in the right direction. If I can say that, I honestly believe we're coming 6th. I honestly believe the best way of getting in the top 4, generally speaking, is via the league, generally speaking, and common sense speaking, because there's 38 games. You can't really rely on a competition if you're not cerebral like that, although Unai does have the CV to suggest he could do his thing in Europa. But for me, it's looking like the only way we're going to get top 4 is via the Europa League. And I'm praying to God that we can win that and an FA Cup double, to be fair with you. Because it looks a bit peak with us on the general basis. Probably would like our players, especially playing out from the back with me, for me, a bit more zip to it. At times, I do think we put ourselves under pressure with Xhaka. I see Xhaka do it, Bellerin. I actually saw Ozil and Iwobi do it. I saw Aubameyang do it. In fact, quite a few players. Czech definitely. Hospital passes, or passes that are inviting problems, or we're losing it in silly areas. Mkhitaryan as well. So I did see some positives in that game, to be fair with you. And I believe in Unai, innit? Like, this isn't an easy fix. I think his job's been made 10 times harder. I don't want to have sympathy in that regard, because you kind of knew I don't think he knew fully, but you kind of knew the job he was going at Arsenal with the austerity measures. But I do think he's been stitched up a lot. There wasn't really any money in it. I think he believes in some of these players, but I do think he's slowly seeing that some of these players are genuinely very rubbish. It's not going to be a quick fix. Obviously, in an ideal world, we get back in the top 4 and top 4 saves the day. But for me, man, I really can't see how we get top 4. I can't. I want to be wrong. I really want it. Like I said, my heart is saying top 4. My brain says we're coming 6th. So yeah, man, I'm seeing some positives, and I definitely am keeping faith in Unai and stuff like that. And I've seen some positives with him. Ultimately, the positives don't outweigh the negatives, because, 2 games, 6 points up for grabs. We've got 0 in it, but it is what it is. But I'm standing by him. I believe in him. Probably, like I said, the only real thing I want to see that from him is probably get more out of our fullbacks defensively and offensively, and just make use of the wide areas a bit better. If we're not going to make use of them, protect them a bit better, because it doesn't matter how compact you are in the midfield or how solid you are shape-wise. If you can't stop the wide areas, you're just inviting crosses, and you will be let down from it time after time. Our players probably need to improve following their runners as well. I did see Morata on the wrong, getting on the wrong side of Socrates and Mustafi a bit. Probably need to be the game management needs to improve, of course. But I want the play. Obviously, it lies with Unai Emery, but I want the players to be able to do that. Like, at half time, obviously Unai must have spoken, but surely someone must have said something at half time. Lads, we don't deserve to be back in this game. We do, because we got back in it. We're having joy when we have a go at them. Let's do the same thing in the second half. What player had to have some player had to have said something at half time, and it wasn't implemented. So I have to say, what players are saying these things? And in the game, players talk. You can tell when your back's against it. You can tell when the team has momentum. So surely some people I have to say, we're sitting back too much, boys. Let's have a goal. Or we're attacking too much, boys. Let's stand in a bit. 10 minutes passage. Let's sit in. Let's protect ourselves. Let's frustrate Chelsea and then go again. I see a lot of technically messed footballers at Arsenal, but I don't see enough street smartness. And apologies, people. I can't blame Unai for that, because he can give you the water, but he can't help you drink. And I honestly, if I know this, and these people I've seen more more football on an intricate level, more than I'll ever know. I can't understand how they keep doing the same things. You're seeing stuff like Mustafi coming out and saying he likes Unaiemery because nobody's told him what to improve before. I think that was a shot at Wenger. Cool, that might be legit, but if I can see that you, for one, you get too tight and people either turn you and sit you on your bum, or you're there putting your hands up, surely you can watch your own games. Like, I have to wonder how self-aware and how self-critical you really are as a footballer if you can't tell me what you need to do better. And just, I didn't mean to mention this in the vid, but I've just said it. One thing as well, and again, this lies on the players, not really Unai Emery, but I hope he stamps it out. Continuously, this is annoying me. Players are, the game is still going on. Players are standing there with their hands up, looking at the ref and the linesman. It's not training. Play on. Play on. Play to the whistle. Make every tackle, fight for every ball until the ref blows the whistle. If you're in a boxing match, or a fight, people, in a boxing match, to bear your example, you're gonna keep swinging not until the ref stops it. I lie, people. Or are you gonna keep boxing and think, all right, cool, I've hurt him now, and then stop and then get banged back? You're gonna keep hitting a minute. So we need to be a bit more sensible in certain other incidences. But I am seeing a lot of positives and things like that. I said I would see where we are when 10 games comes, because I believe, give or take, probably more. That's where you see how they shape up. We've got 8 more to go. Obviously, playing Chelsea and City, couldn't have asked for a better start. Couldn't have asked for a better start as a manager, a new manager at the club in the new league. So while I believe playing the better sides gives you a better example in regards to the manager's tactics and them sort of things. He gets a fair chance with the games there's no easy games in the Prem, but with the games coming up, he maybe gets to experiment a bit, maybe gets to drop players he didn't want to drop, maybe gets to do things differently in it against West Ham, Cardiff, Newcastle. I believe we've got Watford coming up as well. Yeah, no disrespect to any of these sides, because there's no easy games in the Premier League. In Newcastle at their place, which we have to travel to in a few weeks, they beat us there last year. So I'm not disrespecting any of the sides by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, man, guys, Deluded, let me get out you guys' head. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. All my socials are in the description. DeludedGuna04, Snapchat DGuna04. Thank you very much, man. It's been a pleasure. Favorite YouTubers out.